Wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. Here we go. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Here we go. Here's 3rd and a few inches. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he is going to have the Raiders first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And taken down just shy of the 40. The Raiders at 7-2 here on the year. Their head coach, he's got them believing in themselves. They've won 7 of their last 9 games now.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. When you talk about this Jets defense, they've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
One, Omaha.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
So from just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 9. Once again, it's Jacobs. Oh, nice move. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. When we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Here's a 2nd and 8. On play action, it's Garoppolo. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. Out of CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because, to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Cook. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Robert Spillane, ex of the Steelers, is there on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. Dancing to his left. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield. But they never did.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Now Rodgers. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Tyree Wilson in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And here comes Abdullah on the return. It'll go as a 42, making a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Jacobs going to try the middle. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. The 71 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
Oh, he stays up. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Brings up 2nd and 16 at the 46-yard line. 13. White.
Oh, he fakes a spike. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
Adrian Amos with a pick.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Marcus Epps able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes.
And
just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
They'll set up the screen for Hall. And down he'll go at the 25. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern a little bit. Whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. Shrugs him with his stiff arm. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 96 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Garoppolo on 1st down. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. This one deep for Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Two yards still to go. 3rd down now. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Just the 1 touchdown in that first half. 7-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
At their own 15-yard line.
Here we go.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the 3rd quarter. And Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
This is 2nd and 8.
To throw, it's Garoppolo.
That's to the rookie from Notre Dame, Michael Mayer.
Well, he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On first down, Garoppolo.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs.
Call it a gain of a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Here we go.
Now 2nd and 9.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo.
And that one to the right side and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
21.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. Powers through it. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
Hardman on the return.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He finds Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 34. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. Steps away to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Tyree Wilson in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
He was out there waving his arms. When you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11.
Here's Rodgers.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Raiders are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
21.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Garoppolo.
That is caught. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Jacobs. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Jermaine Johnson there to bring him down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
3rd and 3.
Here's Jacobs. Taking it right down Broadway.
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
Josh Jacobs.
His 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are an extra point away from tying this ball game here, the final moments into the third quarter. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now it's Rodgers. And his throw here's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Abdullah to return. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 155 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
2nd down and 8. Now Garoppolo. Open man is Jacob Hollister. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. There's Garoppolo to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Now, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows a defense to tighten up their coverage, and they pick that one off.
On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Rodgers going to throw.
This pass out wide to Hall.
And he's out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Back to the ground, this time Cook.
They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Rodgers.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
Second and 6 coming up.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers.
That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Well, the black hole and everyone in Vegas on their feet. Here's third down now.
To throw is Rodgers. And that will be incomplete as well.
Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation, and now fourth down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made in my estimation.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And this will be taken at the 13.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. This is 1st and 10.
Now Garoppolo.
Pass complete, it's Adams.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Running is Jacobs. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
Here comes 2nd down.
Back to throw, Garoppolo. Throw left side, taken in by Renfro.
And he picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here's 1st and 10.
They run it with Jacobs. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play.
Here's 1st down.
Garoppolo to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Solomon Thomas, they love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll take this one down to the 36. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout As the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
On third down, here comes Jacobs, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
A 52-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. From 52 yards away, he gets it to go. And the Raiders escape with a victory.
Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game. But, hey, they got enough points to get the job done. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win. And in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.
So for Las Vegas,
they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Jets, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.